Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we're going to have Brian. Brian is from New York City in the USA. So let's see what Brian has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Friday. How you
Happy,
doing?
happy Friday. I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Oh, this is so nice of you to do.
You know what? Today it's a very warm day in London. I believe it's the warmest day so far. It's been
Hmm.
28 degrees. So it's great. It's great to see, the weather like that.
We had a bit of a heat wave. I'm in New York, Yonkers specifically. The last 2 days, it's nice now, but it was like mid 90s.
Wow.
A bit,
And
bit
New York,
much.
and New York City is the place where you're born and raised?
Yeah, Queens, New York,
I see. So
which is
tell
which
me,
is which is a borough. It's one of the five boroughs of New York. If you're
what's the
familiar.
big, tell me something about Queens that stands out in New York City compared with other boroughs in New York City.
Um, Queens is basically like living in a cemetery. It's just my that had my yeah. It's there's cemeteries all over Queens. My house growing up, we had the backyard fence, another fence, and then the cemetery. So I had a
Wow.
really nice view of the cemetery. And they're great neighbors. They're quiet. They don't bother you, and it looks nice. It's like having a little forest, a forest in the back. Yeah, but a lot of Queens is filled with cemeteries, so I don't think people know about that.
Interesting. You just made my day now. Learned something new. That's amazing.
Hmm.
Interesting. So tell me, what was the biggest joy of waking up, of growing up in New York City, in your opinion?
Um, the mourning doves. They make that really nice. I can't do the bird sounds, but they have this really calming sound that they make. The mourning doves, and they were all, they're all. We had, there was like turkeys also. There was a lot of wildlife in the cemetery because there's
Interesting.
no one really back there. So there was rabbits.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of deer up here. I'm in Yonkers. I'm in Westchester, which is about 30 to 45 minutes from where I grew up in Queens.
Okay.
But yeah, the winters were nice when it snowed in the cemeteries because it was just untouched snow. It looked like a winter wonderland. It was beautiful. And it was very peaceful and quiet. I miss that. I'm by the train now, which is a totally different way of waking up. I'm kind of used to it, but when it goes by and they blow that air horn, it's a nice reminder of where I am.
What's
um,
the first train in the morning, and what time is the last one?
it's the Metro North that goes from where I am to Grand Central Station in Manhattan, New York.
Yeah.
I think the morning train. I mean, it must start maybe at like 6 a.m., perhaps
Oh,
7 a.m. I'm not really sure. Early because people got to get down there, get down to work.
I
And I
see.
think the last train might be like 3 a.m. and then they
Oh, it's
stop.
quite late. It's quite late actually. It
Yeah.
keeps late. Wow.
And then I think it's around, I want to say 11 p.m. There's probably it's a freight train. I don't know where it's going, what it's carrying, but it goes really slow. And it's about 5 minutes of a train just going chugga 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 for like 5 minutes. I've learned how to fall asleep to that rhythm.
You
As
go
long
like
as
five
there's no
minutes.
air horn.
You go like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Five
five
minutes.
minutes. Give me a
5
5 minute nap. Give me a 5 minute train nap.
Brian, let's start the interview talking about your career as a comedian, stand-up comedian. Yeah. So tell me how everything started.
I've only been doing it. I'm a newbie, a noob, a greenhorn. You know, if you know all those good words. I only started this February of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
And
kind of
why?
well. I've been pursuing since COVID. when things got locked down, shut down, I, like many other people, lost their office job. But I saw it as an opportunity to pursue other things.
Right.
So I tried voiceover. I got a coach. I got a demo. I set up. I only have one closet. I live in a studio, but it's a walk-in closet. So I set it up as my recording studio.
Yeah.
I had some success with that. I landed a gig for like a year as the spokesperson for a credit union that located in Florida,
Wow.
and that lasted for about a year. And then it's a saturated market as any entertainment industry job is.
Mhm.
So I haven't really booked anything since, but that sparked my interest into pursue acting,
Okay.
on-screen acting, and I tried that for about 2 years. It was fun for a bit, but because COVID changed everything, there's no more in-person auditions. It's
Right.
all they're all self-tapes.
Right.
So you submit your headshot and your profile for whatever role you think is suitable for you online. If you get an audition, a self-tape request, then they give you a script, an instruction, and it's basically like what you have behind you right now, a backdrop. I have this whole setup. I have the tripod, the ring light, the blue setup, and then you pretty much act to the camera.
Yeah.
And then you have your a friend or somebody as your reader reading the other parts.
Yeah.
Off on the side on the laptop. So they're over here far away, and I'm acting to the camera. It wasn't fun. It was. I thought I was going to be like acting, at least auditioning with real people and playing off of them. So it was hard for me. A lot of it takes a strong actor and a patient actor and a talented actor. But again, I was brand new, and I came into it when self tapes was the only way to do an audition.
I
I
see.
got one thing. I did an independent movie, which I was pretty proud of because there was like a 9-minute scene,
Oh,
full 9-minute scene of dialogue, and I got through that. So I felt like that was a good success, and I was able to step away. And then I was always told, "Hey, Brian, you're a funny guy. You know how to make everybody laugh." But there was the one thing I never tried was, I mean, it's different being funny in the moment with people, talking to people and
yeah.
writing jokes. It's two completely different things. If you might be a funny person, but to get up on stage and to have preemptive jokes in mind that you're hoping you land, because what you think is funny in here, you have to perform it. So I never tried it. And this might be interesting, but I was taking a walk. It was like towards a cafe that I go to quite often in my neighborhood, and I was doing a prayer walk, where I was walking and talking to God. And I was like, God, the one thing I haven't tried to do was stand-up comedy. Should I do it? Let it be your will. You tell me what to do because I don't know anymore. And then 15 minutes into getting at the cafe, I'm online and I overhear someone talking, stand-up comedy. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
No way. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Just a stranger. Never saw him there before in my life. And so I approached him. I was like, I'm sorry to interrupt your coffee and muffin, but I think God sent you to tell me something. I didn't say that. I didn't want to freak anybody out. But I said, did you just mention stand-up comedy? And he said, yes. There's an open mic happening up at the restaurant, which was maybe in walking distance from me. And that was it. That's all I needed to hear.
Wow.
I've been doing open mics since February. And they're not exactly what I thought they would be, an open mic. You think you're going to an open mic and you're going to be in front of, an audience. It's really just a small crowd of other new stand-up comedians,
Right.
which are just waiting their turn. Sometimes they laugh, but you have to work. You have to work extra hard to make a comedian laugh, because
Wow.
they're all waiting for their turn to go up. They're reciting their own material in their head. They're probably nervous.
Of
So
course.
it's hard. It's been a hard journey, but I've been enjoying that because I like the immediate give and take. There's no backdrop. There's no talking to a phone. You know, you don't have to wait for direction, because if people aren't laughing, it's not funny. There's your direction. Be funnier.
I love the story. I love the story that, you're talking to God and God got your message very quick. That was a very
happened.
quick
Yes,
answer.
it happened instantly. He was like, "Oh, you want to know what you should do? Here you go." I
You-
was over this guy
you
within
asked for it.
15 minutes. Yeah, it was.
You
It
asked
was.
for it.
I did. I
And
did.
we need
I wrote-
sometimes what we put it out, we need to be careful, because it's the old years are there, so you need to be very sure what you're putting out there, because the message is going to come straight away. And if it didn't meant to be, it didn't mean to be, I'm sure you wouldn't hear that. I would, you know what I mean? So I think it's everything, things just get together. I love this story. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Maybe Jesus thinks I'm funny.
Wow. He wants to challenge you to see how you can explore different areas. I love that.
Yeah. So the idea behind the process is you're supposed to write what's called a tight 5, because you get 5 minutes of
Mhm.
stand-up time, and you want to basically it's like working out. You gotta put in your reps.
Yeah.
And you go up there with your 5 minutes, or you hope it's 5 minutes, and you see, so it's it really doesn't matter if there's any new stand-up comedians watching. Don't go for the laughs. That's not what you're going for in the beginning. You're going for stage presence, your persona, and making sure you're getting your material in 5 minutes. Don't worry about if they're not laughing. That'll come later when you get more comfortable, because there's all different ways to make someone laugh,
Totally. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey, okay?
Okay.
But before we start our journey within the Magic Box, I always ask my guests on the show to bring something that means a lot to them. Could be an object, could be a picture, could be anything. Do you have anything you could share with us?
I do. Okay, so I am a big comic book nerd. I grew up. I was a teenager in the '90s, so I love Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, and most particularly, let's see if you can see this. Let's see.
Yes.
Oh, it looks
Yes,
cool.
I can.
So this is a original artwork,
Wow.
The Crow, by James O'Barr, the creator.
Wow.
For the movie The Crow, the first one that came out, I think back in the 90s. It's hard to get this.
It's okay. I got it. I could say yes.
Okay, you can see it. With starring Brandon Lee, who unfortunately died in the middle of production. But I tracked down. I was stalking James O'Barr for maybe like 3 years. I went to 3 different Comic Cons. 2, he wasn't there when he said he was supposed to be there, and finally he was there. And
Wow.
he was doing just not only autographs, but for I think it was like for $100 or something, $150. He would do, and on the spot he drew this.
Wow.
Like maybe within a half hour or so. I was like, hey, yeah, that'd be great, And I went back wandering around, and I came back, and it was done.
Wow.
So I have it. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Thanks for sharing that. That's
Yeah.
unique. That's no other like this one. Wow.
Right. No, it's an original.
Amazing. Love it. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Brian, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Oh, I'd love to.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box.
The Magic Box.
I have here my best friend. round of fun questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Sure.
Let's do it. Yes, you can always dance with me. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about or you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question is, what are you most passionate about?
Good question. Most passionate. As of late, I think it's connecting with people, finding a connection, which is why I was so happy when you reached out. And I thought this was amazing. And you came out of nowhere. Again, I ask God to connect me with like-minded people, and He delivers. Here you are.
Wow.
So that's why I wanted to do voiceover acting, the stand-up comedy, and then in real time, the stand-up works for connecting with people, not just the audience, but the other comedians. I'm looking to build a community.
Totally. Tell me a person in your life right now that you are very connected with. For some reason, it's a person that when you're feeling the lowest, for some reason you feel like, you know what, I want to open up to this person. At the same time, when you're feeling the greatest, you feel like, oh my God, I need to share this news. So tell me which person comes to your mind.
I'd say one of my oldest friends would be my friend Anthony from my old hood from Queens. We grew up together. Also a comic book nerd. We talk. I've known him for. I just turned 51. I think I've known him since I was maybe 15, since high school.
Wow, beautiful.
We didn't go to the same high school. We just grew up in the same neighborhood. We used to walk to the comic book store. We used to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow.
Remember that game? And we still talk maybe at least once a month. We try to keep in contact.
Uh-huh.
And then we always go. I make a point for us to go to the. I try to get the guys. I call them the movie buds, and we always go. We always see the Marvel movies. We just any fun nonsense movie. Like we just recently saw Mortal Kombat 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. I can't do it. But it's a good song to dance to. You should try that song.
Okay, so Anthony is watching this interview right now and have a moment, an opportunity to send him a message. What would you say? He's watching.
Hey, bud. I'm glad we're still friends. I hope you're doing well. You can always reach out to me. And likewise, I'm here for you, man.
Oh, sweet. Very sweet. I love those friends that, the connection was for a very long time and it's still keeping up. I think it's beautiful. The connection always going to be there. Love that. Amazing.
I agree. Yeah.
Next question. Let's do it. Okay, next question for you is, what's your favorite place in the entire world and why?
My favorite place in the entire world?
Yeah.
I like state parks. I like to take, I'm in Westchester, so it's, like I said, it's 30, 45 minutes north of Queens, the suburban areas. So I like to take walks in the hiking through to the forest. There's a lot of state parks up here.
Wow.
I enjoy that. I'm right by the Hudson River.
Wow.
I specifically chose this place where I live so I can be near water and nature. Because growing up in Queens, and then living in, working in Manhattan, it was too congested. Aside from the cemeteries, there's not enough trees in Manhattan, but there are less dead bodies, as far as I know.
What's the biggest joy of being Brian? What do you like the most about being you?
I lean into my sense of humor a lot. Even when I get frustrated, I'll laugh at myself.
Uh-huh.
Like something stupid, trying to open up something, you can't do it, and it flops out of your hand, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Just calm down and pick it up and try again. So I think that's what I like about me, I suppose, is the levity that I can bring to frustrating situations.
Wow. You just mentioned that you just celebrated your birthday not long ago. Do you like celebrating birthdays?
Yes. Yeah, why not? I got together with an old friend, and we sat and did a Marvel movie marathon because she's never saw them. So I was happy to introduce the Avengers movies to her. They're fun. They don't take
Um,
themselves too seriously.
Beautiful. Okay, next question. Let's do it.
Okay.
Right before the next question, as you know, no longer started your career as a comedian, stand-up comedian. So tell me, what do you like the most since you started? What's the biggest joy that you found since you started doing stand-up comedy? Sorry.
Oh, it's got to be the laughs. That's what every comedian is goes for. Because when you make someone laugh, you know you succeeded in something. So there's
Hmm.
that. You know you connected with someone seeing your point of view, and you're distracting someone. You know they're there to be distracted. Life is hard.
Yeah.
Life is tough. So if you can do that for someone in that one moment, let them make them forget where they that everything else is weighing heavy on them. That's the best part.
Well, great.
Mhm.
Next question is, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Oh boy. Uh, Probably something along the lines of, "You remind me of my husband."
That would be very interesting to hear for
That
sure.
would be terrible.
Are you in a relationship right now or you're single?
I'm single.
Okay,
I'm
so
single.
for you, when you go on a date, when you are in the dating scene, what's something about the other person that gets your attention? It's a big plus when you meet someone or you are connect with someone on a date scene,
Um, a sense of humor and a pretty smile go a long way for me.
right?
That's why I always like trying to make people laugh. The prettier the smile, the funnier I'll try to be. Someone that doesn't take life too seriously knows
Mhm.
when to play and when to work. A balance, just like exactly what that's the secret of life, as far as I'm concerned. It's balance.
Tell me the very first time that love hit you, that you felt like, oh my God, now I understand the meaning of love. Now I can feel the butterflies. It's here. Now I can feel it. If you can share.
Um, well, one thing comes to mind is one time, I was dating this girl, and we were at a bar, and a song came on that we both liked, and we decided to dance, and everything around us just vanished,
Wow.
and all I felt was her. I was
Wow.
just so in tune. That was an amazing moment.
Who was your first crush?
My first crush, Alyssa Milano from Who's the Boss?
Right? And growing up, you know, acting, you're not acting at the time, but for you, did you have idols at the time? Did you have people that when you're watching movies or series, you're like, you know what? That's
A-
something that quite
Yes,
fascinating.
absolutely. In the '80s, I would say it was John Ritter from Three's Company.
Okay.
He was so charismatic and so physical. Um, and that was for the TV. For movies, I would say it was Gene Wilder.
Right.
He brought this intensity to his comedy. Plus, he worked with Mel Brooks, my favorite comedic director.
Oh,
Um, and then Jim Carrey came exploding onto the screen.
oh my God, yes. Wow. It was
And
like unique,
yeah,
different, and
yes, just
everything.
a wild man. A
Wild
wild
man.
man he
Exactly.
is.
That's the right way to describe for sure.
Yeah. And I always wanted to be like them because they exuded such confidence and they brought so much joy to people. I was like,
Right.
what an amazing combination.
Tell me three names. You mentioned, so tell me three names, in the movie industry or the comedians that for you, three names that is for you is the top three. Three names.
I say John Ritter, Gene Wilder, and Jim Carrey.
Okay. So now the question is gonna be a bit tougher now.
Oh
One
boy.
day you're gonna wake up in the morning having 3 missed calls on your phone from those three you just mentioned right now. By the
Right.
way, they're all with us still, yeah? They're still with us, all of them. Jim Carrey,
No, Jim Carrey is the only one
yes.
that's still with us.
Okay, so let's pretend the other two, they're still with us, okay?
Okay. Okay.
So you've got these 3 missed calls on your phone when you wake up in the morning. Which one you're gonna call back straight away? Which one you're gonna send a message? I'll call you back later. And the third one, you don't call back, you just ignore him for now.
I would like to sit and talk with Gene Wilder because he worked with Mel Brooks,
Okay.
both as an actor, writer, and director.
Right.
I believe Mel Brooks directed Young Frankenstein, but Gene Wilder wrote it.
Okay.
Also starred in it. So that would be a plethora of information and experience right there.
Right.
Jim Carrey, I might tell him I'll call him back later. He seems a bit intense these days. You know?
He always been there.
Yeah, but I mean, he's really he seems to be an urban philosopher
Right.
these days, and I'm not sure if I can, wouldn't want to get that heavy with him. And John Ritter seems like a kind of guy you can go out for a couple of drinks with.
Okay.
Very, very laid back.
He can wait for you to call another time.
Yeah. I would definitely call Gene Wilder back.
Sweet, very sweet. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, Brian from New York City. All right, next question is, what's the biggest risk you ever taken?
I'd say what I'm doing now is pursuing the voiceover or the acting, and I kind of put that on the back burner and the stand-up comedy because in order to do all that, especially for the on-screen acting, you need to either be financially independent and not work, which I am not, because you need a open schedule. So I've been working part-time and been dipping into my savings to keep myself afloat. But the experience is worth more than the money.
Totally.
I'll always be able to, get another job and build back my finances.
What's the meaning of life, Brian, when you think about life?
Oh, I already know the meaning of life. It's and the universe has been showing us since the beginning of time, and it's balance. Because too much gravity, black hole. Not enough gravity, maybe an asteroid field. The right amount of gravity, you have a planet.
Wow.
That's how I feel. Yeah, eat as much as eat, and then you work out and balance it, and you'll have a healthy life.
Wow. Tell me, as you talk about food, tell me one food that you could eat for the rest of your life.
Probably pizza. I'm like a Ninja Turtle.
I had his guests on the show from New York City, and some of them said that the best pizza in the world is New York City. Until I had Alien live in New York City, said, William, come down a little bit. It's good here. However, let's not talk about balance. It's not like the same. Why is that? What do you think people, you know what I mean? They think they talk about the pizza in New York City. Why is that?
Oh, you want me to give away the secret of our New York pizza? And I'll tell you this, not just the pizza, we have the best bagels.
Yes, I think I heard us for the bagel.
Never get a bagel anywhere other than New York. And I'll tell you why. I think it's because of the water.
Interesting.
And I've heard that. People said people who actually have businesses out of state will have New York water shipped to where they are.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what's in the water, whether it's good or bad, but it's delicious.
Let's hope that's good.
Let's hope it's good. Yeah.
Amazing. And what's your favorite toppings of the pizza? Anything particular?
I like, do you ever have a lasagna slice where it's the crumbled meatball and the ricotta cheese?
Wow.
On the slice? It makes the slice heavy. it falls, but it's delicious. It's really good.
Interesting. All right. Two questions left. Let's do it.
All right.
Love your move. I'm going to follow your moves. Next question is, you're talking about birthday before, so this question is good for you. If you could be any age, what age would you choose and why?
Well, I was too crazy in my 20s. I wouldn't want to go that young.
Okay.
maybe in the 30s, mid 30s would be good.
Why is that?
Because I feel like you have just enough experience of life, and then you're old enough to have the wisdom, both best of both worlds, balance.
I love the mention about the balance. It's so true. Balance is a very interesting,
Absolutely.
powerful word,
It is.
I think life is a balance anyway. It's everything. The word. The other day I was talking to someone about, the word, we have the goods and the bads. And it's there to balance, the word, to get things, it's very interesting. Aging for you is something that bothers you, or you just see as a matter of life?
It doesn't bother me. Not since my beard went gray.
Look mine. Look, I love.
We look distinguished, right? We look like distinguished gentlemen.
I call wisdom. It's my wisdom showing out.
Your wisdom whiskers. How about that?
Yes.
All of that. No, I'm not too bothered by getting older. It's life's a journey. I think I was more bothered by it when I was younger, but as I get older, it just feels just natural, As long as I try to maintain myself, a healthy life. That way I can be mobile when I get older. I'll be all right. As long as there's parks for me to walk through, I'll be okay.
What would be the title of your memoir?
I want the balance of life.
Of course, you need to have the balance in your book. Of course,
not in there.
Good one. And when people they read your memoirs, what's something that would you like people to take with them?
That there's always going to be trials and tribulations. It's okay to make mistakes. You're supposed to make mistakes. Trying something and not succeeding isn't failure if you're learning.
Wow.
That's what I would like.
Beautiful. Last question, ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. Last one. Before the last question, Brian, of course, you've been doing stand-up comedy for a few months. Tell me a situation so far, or a moment that you go like, you know what? I'll cherish this moment. I'll keep close to my heart so far. There's something you could share?
Yeah, the moments that are awkward, where I'm not trying to be funny because I get lost in my own set, or I get distracted, or I'm just not feeling it, and it connects with someone, and they get a kick out of it.
Right.
I'm like, oh, so that weird, awkward moment that I had personally, that little anxiety bell, made someone laugh. All right, success.
Wow. Tell me the very first time you were on stage as a stand-up comedian. Tell me the feeling, or how did you feel about it? Walk me through of the night when you were there for 5 minutes, on your turn.
Where was I? I think I was, I went to the local, there was an Italian restaurant. They have something in the basement called a speakeasy.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool. And I wasn't nervous. I had when I was younger, I used to be a singer, a frontman for a few bands. So I wasn't uncomfortable having a microphone, and I did a few jokes. I tried to act them out. I'm still finding myself, still trying to figure out my, my persona. But
Right.
it went by so fast.
I can
That's
imagine.
what it was a blur. It was a blur. It's almost, I was so focused on remembering my material that I made the mistake of I didn't pause, so I ran over my laughs. So, you know what I mean? That sometimes that happens. You have to remember to pause for the laughs. But
Right.
I was so in my head about this has to be 5 minutes, no more, no less.
I can imagine. Wow.
But it was fun.
Wow. Okay, so last question now. As you mentioned about being a voiceover, can you make up like a voice that you feel comfortable, a different voice that you feel comfortable doing it? Um,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I'd like to answer the last question with a different voice that's used for your career as a voiceover. Okay.
All right. I'll try to do a cartoon voice.
Okay. So last question is, what did you think was the most challenging part of being a kid?
Okay. Well, the most challenging part of being a kid, I'd say, was the other kids. They didn't get me, and I didn't want to get them. No.
Good. I love it. I love it. Okay, back to Brian now. Back to you now. So you can answer a little bit more now about your childhood challenge. Why is that?
um. Well, I'm Gen X. I'm not sure if Generation X. So we were latchkey kids. So we spent a lot of time like outdoors, like Lord of the Flies. It was always a big group of us. It was great. But we learned everything on our own, which is fine. It made us self sufficient.
Okay.
A lot of scrapes and bruises, and going out in the morning, coming home before the lights went on the street. It
Well,
was a good time. It was This was all before the internet. The internet's fine. I'm not gonna sound like an old man yelling at the cloud. Um, but there was a different air back then. You didn't know about everything else that was happening in the world, so you didn't have so much weight on you. You know.
great
Uh,
point, actually. Great point. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it just felt like more. It was just a free time to be a kid. We
Yeah.
got to really be kids. We
Tot-
used to play a game Manhunt. We used to ride on our bikes. I would sometimes go in the cemetery. I
Really?
didn't do anything bad. I didn't do anything bad. Just being in there was bad enough. And like as a kid, you like to, you know, do
Explore.
explore. Sure.
It's interesting, when I think about I grew up in the 80s, 90s as well, and I remember
Mhm.
that when it's so interesting because at the time there was no message, there no WhatsApp. If you organize to meet a friend or to go somewhere, you would be there on time. You know what I mean? I remember that. So like when you look back, my God, you made it happen. There was no worry. If the person didn't show up, it was something serious. But besides
Right.
that, they're always on time. And nowadays we have all the technology, everything. We can just say we are arriving, and sometimes we don't get there on time. You know what I mean? So it's so interesting to see the difference because nowadays, it's easy for us to keep
Mhm.
it up, keep it up. You know what I mean? I'm leaving now. I'm gonna meet. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be there in 5 or this and that. Not wrong with that. It's just a difference, and I think it's interesting because the time you just could call, okay, I'm gonna meet you there at 7 p.m. and you were there at 7 p.m. without, you're just expecting. It's
Right.
so, yeah, it was interesting to see for sure. We were
We
lucky to be growing up at the time for sure. We were very lucky.
we were. Yeah. We live in nanoseconds now.
Yeah.
Kids like they need like a personal assistant with all the different uh, scheduling that their parents have for them. They have soccer and first of all school, and then all the extracurricular activities after school, soccer, piano, all these
Yeah.
things. They're just constantly, they're going to be Renaissance kids. They're going to be able to do and have experiences that like I would never know. So there's like again, there's a give and take. They're
Totally.
growing
Yeah.
up in a different world. They're going to be hopefully more prepared and have more skills. and knowledge of things that I will never experience.
Yeah, it's just a different word. You know what I mean? We are in a different word for sure. Amazing.
Totally.
Right, so then yet, let's play now the word association game. I'm going to say some words, just time one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. You scared?
Right.
No. One word for money.
Spend.
Fear.
Loss.
Family.
Happy.
Life.
Death.
Love.
Excitement.
Religion.
Faith.
Sex.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Politics.
Bored.
Friendship.
Love.
Desire.
Passion.
Regret.
Life.
Success.
Success. Learning.
Okay. Wish.
Magic.
Happiness.
Joy.
One word for queens.
Oh, one word. For some reason, holla. That came to my mind.
Why is that?
Because that's how we used to talk back then. Holla,
Interesting.
I mean, holla at you.
Wow. One word for New York City.
Oh, fast.
Wow. One word for USA.
Troubled.
One word for acting.
For some reason, the word space came to mind.
Okay. And the last one now, stand-up comedian. One word.
Oh, real.
Like that. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet Anthony, your friend that you know since you're 15-year-old, for a coffee. And I'm going to ask him, define Brian in one positive and one negative word only. What he would say about you.
Positive, you probably say I'm easy to talk to.
Okay.
Negative might be, which I'm working on, maybe worry too much.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Do you agree with him?
Yeah, I'm working on the worrying. I'm trying to leave things up to God.
Talk to God. God listen to you very quick, so it's good.
Yeah, he does. I gotta be careful what I ask for and what I say, because he's listening. He's there.
Amazing. I love that. Let's play now Brian and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
All right.
Hey, Brian, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, I had three in mind, three different questions. So I'll give them to you, and you answer the one you want.
I can answer three. I can answer those three. Tell
Okay.
me.
Let's start with something kind of simple. What superpower would you want to have?
Right. Okay, I'm gonna answer two superpowers that I think one kind of interesting. I mean, something more meaningful, and the other one more interacting. So the first one that more interactive is I would love to go to every country and be able to speak every language in the world.
Oh, okay.
Like, literally every language, even though sometimes, for example, English my second language, and I can study or learn for whole my life. There's some slangs or word that I'm just gonna learn if I'll be in some places or countries, who speaks English. So imagine you go to Italy, you can speak fluently in Italian. You go to Germany, you can speak fluent German. You know what I mean? So imagine that would be amazing for me. And the other part of the superpower is I would love to go around the world and touching close people mind heads to open their minds. You know what I mean? That would be amazing. Imagine, like, all of us, we have stigmas, we have taboos, including you and me, we have those taboos. But when you respect, when you go like, you know what? I don't understand. So I'm going to carry on with my life. It's okay. You know what I mean? So I would love to go touch their head just to open their minds to be more open-minded, more approachable, more understanding. I think we would be in a better place for sure. Second
Yeah.
question.
If you could talk to any one historical figure, who would it be?
Wow, great question. That's gonna take me a little bit longer to think.
Sure.
Wow, my God, historical figure. You know what? Lincoln come to my mind. I don't know why.
Okay.
I'd love to. I'd love to, to talk to him. You know, the statue. You know, the statue that they have. I'd love
Yeah.
to chat with him. You know, about America, about the time he was, the power. I'd love that for sure. Yeah,
All
Lincoln.
right. Good. Good. Okay. And the last one would be if you could travel anywhere in the universe, in the whole universe, to
Yeah.
go to see a black hole, a nebula, a quasar, where would you go?
You know what? Great question, actually. I don't think anyone ever asked this question here on the show after 1,000 interviews I've done so far. You know what? Great question. I think, to be honest with you, if I would had the first, before I answer, if you had this chance to go to the space, would you go? But
I
I don't
yeah,
think I would.
with
I'll
training.
I think I would be very tempted. I would be very, like, not even curious, but I don't think I'll be able to go because I'm so scared. Anyway, I would love to go to the moon. I think I don't know what I'd like to do, to sit down in the moon and walk around, see our Earth,
Yeah.
like, for a day, just having, like, I think the moon would be a place. I think there's something mystical about the moon. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Absolutely.
I'm an early bird, and sometimes when I leave home when I start my day, I look at the moon. I was like, my God, this light there. You know what I mean? It's insane. How can you see that? Sometimes it's full moon, sometimes just
Mhm.
it's a mystical thing there, and I'd love to understand that. So I'd love to be able to, I'm sure there is some explanation like science, and you know what I mean, regarding all of that. But I'd love to be there, in presence and understand a little bit more this mystical thing that there is with the moon. I think all of us sometimes we catch ourselves, look to the moon, look in the moon. It could be we are feeling sad or happy or distracted or just lost in our thoughts, but we have this tendency to look to the moon. So I think there is something there about it that connects us, that attracts our interest to the moon. You know what I mean? Even when you see the astronauts going there, oh my God, they're in the moon. So there's
Right.
something there that's, there's something mystical, there's something there. And I'd love to understand more in there. I imagine how amazing to, you know what I mean? This mystical thing about it. I never been asked this question. I love the
Good.
concept. And
I'm glad.
I never thought about that actually. I'm just thinking how genuinely the
Right.
thoughts come to my mind. And I think it will be amazing to go to the moon and understand why this mystical thing that people sometimes even unconscious, you catch yourself looking to the moon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so
Yeah.
interesting, and I never thought about that actually. It just made me think about that now. And yeah, I think I'd love to go there and to understand a little bit more this mystical thing
Hmm.
about it. Great question. Love it. Amazing.
Hang out in the Sea of Tranquility.
Yes, something
Right.
about it. Something about it. That's why we have, including myself. So many times I caught myself just looking to the moon like for no reason, and I was like, "Wow, that's beautiful to see this big giant thing there shining." It's just beautiful. Yeah, amazing.
Mm. All
Did
right.
you,
Good
did you,
answer.
did you
I
enjoy
like
the
that.
interview, Brian?
I did. I did. This was fun. This was great. It was a nice way to meet a new friend.
Absolutely.
I'm
Thanks
glad I was
again.
able to be part of this. Yeah. Thank you
Thanks
so
for,
much for reaching out.
thanks for taking the time. I'm so glad that we connected through this time of your life, that you are trying something new. You are putting all your energy, in the comedy. And I think it's a great place to be because, as you said, making people laugh, you're making something nice come out from people. You know what I mean? People, they're expressing for a laugh, for a smile, and for you to be able to do that, I think it's amazing. So good luck on your journey. I just
Oh,
hope
thank
that,
you.
you
I
know,
appreciate that.
they just hope that you have more and more gigs and just make more and more people laugh. I would like to be there one day, okay? Clapping and see you
Yeah, I'll save you a seat.
in the front row.
Front row. Front row.
Beautiful.
You'll be my first crowd work that I do.
Amazing. Before we go, Brian, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Oh yeah, the quote. It was I had to look it up because it was paraphrased, but it's basically be aware of the world, but cultivate your garden, which is actually from it's a Voltaire quote from a story he wrote in the 18th century called Candide, I think. And it's basically like, yeah, be aware of the world, but you know, life is full of thorns, but you have to cultivate your own garden.
For sure. You need to look every day. You need to, but
yeah,
take care of it every single day.
Yeah, I think it matters most, especially now, because like we mentioned before, we know too much what's going on all over the globe instantaneously. And that information, it gets stuck in there. And I think it causes a lot of anxiety. And I think people need to just back away, tend to their, live within the 5-foot radius that you have in front of you and deal with that first.
Great. Love it. Thanks again. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being so kind and accepting the invitation to keep in touch.
This is a great thing you're doing, connecting with people. This is amazing. This is what the internet was made for.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
All right. This is cat videos.
Take care, okay? We'll keep in touch.
All right. Goodbye, my friend.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.